35 miles per hour. Now they are solitary rhinos, so they'll spend the majority of their life living just by themselves. And unfortunately, there are less than 5,000 left in the world, as they are hunted for those horns of theirs. And those horns are made up of keratin. That's what you find in our hair and fingernails, and serve no purpose whatsoever. Now both the male and the female bongos will carry the horns, but only the greater kudus, the males, will have the horns, so the ones we saw were females. Now we are making our way out of the forest and are headed to the Safi River. Now the river is home to more aquatic animals, so keep an eye out in the water. Look for any shadows or bubbles. Those could be some good signs of some animals. Straight ahead there on the island, those are the pink-back pelicans. And they get their name as they'll turn a pinkish color during their mating season. And it's actually their skin that will change colors and not their feathers, just like us humans blushing. They are colonial nesters, and they'll be anywhere from about 20 pairs to 500 pairs. And on the left-hand side, that is the Nile hippo. Now, a group of hippos is called a bloat. And even though they can swim, they are so heavy that they will just sink down to the bottom and run along the bottom of the water. They can hold their breath for about 6 to 8 minutes at a time, with their body naturally raising them to the surface to get that breath of fresh air. An adult male can reach up to about 5,500 pounds. For their size, they eat a fairly small amount, roughly just 80 to 90 pounds of vegetation daily, which is the opposite of these Nile crocodiles, who can eat half their body weight in just one sitting. Now, Nile crocodiles are the largest crocodilian species. And on average, they're about 16 feet long and 500 pounds. Now, they have an amazing jaw strength of roughly 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. But they are still quite gentle. And you'll often see that the mom and dad will hold their eggs in their mouth and roll them around with their tongue in order to help them hatch. And crocodiles don't have sweat glands like we do, so in order to release all their body heat, they will lie there with their mouths wide open in order to cool themselves off. This tree here on the right, this is the Baobab tree. Now these trees go leafless about 9 months out of the year. They're often referred to as the upside down tree, as it kind of looks like the roots stick up in the air. And they are also known as the tree of life, as because they can store thousands of gallons of water in their trunks at a time, storing up to about 5,000 gallons. Now we have just made our way into the largest part of the reserve, the Savannah. The Savannah is home to Africa's much more popular and iconic wildlife. Now these little antelopes here, these are the springbok. Now they are small, only standing at about 3 feet tall, but what they lack in height, they make up for in speed, as they're one of the top 10 fastest animals in the world, and they can reach speeds of about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Now they get their name Springbok, which means springing buck, as they can spring about 6 feet up into the air and 13 feet going forward. And when they do that, it is called pronking. Now scattered about are the Maasai giraffes. Now they are the tallest animals in the world, standing at about 18 to 20 feet tall. And just like our fingerprints, no two spot patterns will ever be the same. They are unique to each and every giraffe. On the left, blending in with the rocks in front of the cave, those are the African wild dogs. Now they are also known as the painted dogs, and their coat patterns are so unique that they can actually identify one another from 2 miles away from one another. But don't let their cuteness fool you. They are the most successful predator with a success rate of 90%. To put that in perspective, lions have a success rate of 30%. On the left-hand side here, these are the sable antelopes. They are the official emblem here of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They have an average lifespan of about 18 years, and their coats will darken as they mature. They are a dominant male-led group, but it's actually the dominant female who will lead all the movements of the group and make a lot of their decisions. And sable antelopes have these horns, which they use to show their dominance in both fighting and sparring, as well as love and courtship. You can see this giraffe here using that long prehensile tongue to grasp at those leaves on that tree. Now their tongues are actually purple, and that helps prevent any sunburn, as those tongues are exposed to the sun for the majority of the day, as giraffes will only sleep about 30 minutes a day. Now, a group of giraffes is called a tower, and the first thing that a baby giraffe will experience is gravity. Mom gives birth standing up, so it's a nice 6-foot welcome drop into the world. I think of it as the giraffe's own little version of Tower of Terror. Except it takes a newborn giraffe only an hour after birth to start standing up and walking. Up on the hill, the grayer colored ones, those are the wildebeest. And just behind them with those giant horns, those are the Ankole cattle. Now the wildebeest, over 1.5 million of them will migrate across Africa every single year. You can actually track wildebeest migration patterns all the way from space due to the amount of dirt that they will kick up as they migrate. Now, way on the right there, those are the Hartman Mountain zebra. Now, a group of zebra like that is called a dazzle. And if you're wondering if they are white with black stripes, or if they're black with white stripes, the answer is both. If you shave a zebra down to their skin, they are actually just striped. Now, just like our fingerprints, those stripes are unique. And a baby actually has the ability to imprint on the mother's stripe pattern. That way they can always remember her, remain close to her for that first year of life. There are more of those Ankole cattle in the palm trees there. Now those horns might look like they'd be very heavy, but they actually have a honeycomb-like structure on the inside. And that helps them in their thermal regulation to help keep their body temperature regulated at all times. Now on that right-hand side, those are the African elephants. And you can tell they are the African elephants as those ears are shaped like the continent of Africa. And disappearing on the left, there was a mandrill monkey. Oh, there they are. Now, they are the largest monkey species, getting up to about 100 pounds for the male. Now, they are known for their red and blue facial markings. And a pretty popular mandrill would be Rafiki from The Lion King. They have extra little storage pouches in their cheeks, which act as their natural Tupperware, as they'll often store some food in those pouches to snack on throughout the day. Now those elephants, their ears are filled with blood vessels. So just by flapping their ears, elephants can actually cool themselves off up to about 15 degrees. So it's like they have their own little cooling system built right in. we are making our way through some red clay pits. Now, these are a great source of minerals for the animals out here. You'll often see the elephants come over and dig their tusks in to extract the minerals, as it works like you and I taking a daily vitamin. There are some tusk marks there on the right, which could mean that there might be some more elephants up ahead, and it does look like there are. Now, elephants, they are a matriarchal society, so the females do run the show, and the boys will kick themselves out of the herd as they mature, which happens around age 15. Now, the boys will go on to live alone, or they'll form small little bachelor herds of about 2 to 3 other male elephants. These are more baobab trees here, and in severe droughts the elephants will come over and puncture holes in them. That way they can extract all the water that's stored inside to help everyone on the savannah get some much needed water. Now, just like us humans, elephants are either going to be left or right side dominant. You can tell which side of their body they use by their tusks. So if their left tusk is more worn down, they are left side dominant. And if their right tusk is more worn down, they use the right side of their body and are right side dominant. Now, their trunks can get up to about 6 feet long. They have more muscles in those trunks than we do in our entire body. Now, up ahead here, these are the greater flamingos. They are the lightest in color and largest of all flamingo species. They get their pink coloration from the beta carotene that's found in their diet of mainly brine shrimp. Now, it does take about 2 to 3 years for that pink to develop, so any gray and white ones you're seeing are the younger ones of the group. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. And this flamboyance happens to live on a very familiar shaped island, as it is shaped like Mr. Mickey Mouse himself. Now, if you were looking for those brighter pink flamingos, those would be the lesser flamingos. You can find them in the front of the park, on the left side of the Tree of Life, if you are looking at the tree from the park entrance. Now, we have just crossed over here to the eastern side of the reserve, which is home to those white rhinos. Now, they do get a bit bigger than the black rhino that we saw earlier, as they can get up to 5,000 pounds. Now, that giant mud pit there, that is the mud wallow which the rhinos created. And if you look along the bottom of the trees there and on the rocks, they are covered in the mud. As the rhinos will come over and take a nice mud bath, and then they'll brush their horns up against the trees and the rocks. As those horns are made out of keratin, just like our fingernails. So by brushing their horns up against them, they are filing down those horns like we would our fingernails. And we have just entered some larger cat territory, and there are some cheetahs laying there. And there's also some more white rhinos on the right. Now, those cheetahs, they are the fastest land mammals, reaching about 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. A group of them is called a coalition. It does look like there's at least one more over here in this corner. Now, they have incredibly muscular tails, which act kind of like rudders on a boat. And it helps them change directions as well as keep their balance as they run. Cheetahs also have black tear marks that run underneath their eyes. And those act as their natural sunglasses, as cheetahs are the only big cats to do their hunting during the daytime. And speaking of big cats, looks like that male lion is ready to greet us. Now, this male lion here, he's a bit of a movie star. He was actually the model for Simba in the remake of The Lion King just a few years back. Now, Now, lions will typically rest about 16 to 20 hours every single day. They are much more active during the nighttime. Now, there are 3 lions that live here on the reserve, the 1 male and the 2 sisters. So we'll see if the girls are out this afternoon. Now, in a lion pride, it is the females who will go out and do the hunting, while the males will stay back, guard the territory and any cubs. Now, the reason the females will go out and do the hunting is they weigh significantly less, as the mane that he carries can weigh up to 40 pounds. It does look like there is at least one of the girls up on the top rock and one just behind that bush there. Now, when a lion roars at its full power, you can hear that roar from 5 miles away. So that would take you all the way over to Epcot. And lions do have pretty comparable daytime vision to ours, but their nighttime vision is about 6 times more powerful. Straight ahead, there are some ostriches over here. Now, although they have wings, they cannot fly. They instead use their wings to help them change directions as they run. They can reach speeds of about 40 miles per hour. They do have an average lifespan of about 40 years. And ostriches lay some pretty ginormous eggs. And those eggs are right here on the right-hand side. Now, ostrich eggs are incredibly strong, and a grown adult can stand on one and not even crack it. And about one of those eggs is equivalent to 2 dozen chicken eggs. And they'll both weigh roughly about 3 to 4 pounds. Now, our final stop here, this is the Warden's Post. Warden protects all the animals out here. Right now it looks like there are some Nigerian dwarf goats hanging out in the back. Now, they are small, but they're fully grown. They're incredibly playful, friendly, and social animals. And their playing actually helps them in their maturity. Now, they do have a tremendous sense of balance, so you'll often find them climbing up on the roof and onto the truck they have there. And they are also dairy goats, and their milk is known to be incredibly sweet. Now, we did just find a bunch of really cool animals, and they do need our help. And that can be just as simple as reducing, reusing, and recycling. So getting those reusable water bottles, straws, and even silverware, it's all a great way to start reducing all that plastic waste. And making sure we recycle as much paper as we can, so we can help out those animals in the forest who rely on trees for their survival. Remember, when we all do a little, together we do a lot. So go out there, make those differences, spread your knowledge, and together we can help out all these animals. Now, if there are any wilderness explorers on board, you have been riding on the Simba 1. That is Simba like the lion and the number 1. Now, here in Harambe, we do not like to say goodbye. It is far too sad and far too final. Instead, we say Kwaherini, which means to go well. So go well, my friends, go wild, go make a difference out there, and enjoy the rest of your time here in Disney's Animal Kingdom. And if you're on that right-hand side, watch those hands, arms, feet, legs. Doors are opening. Thank you.